Hello and welcome to Casual Leaves. So today I want to do something very interesting again, where I want to show the results of all the things that I've been trying so far with my plants. So things that have worked and things that haven't, because a lot of times I see a lot of videos, I see a lot of hacks to fix the issues we have with our plants, with our house plants, and I try them, and then a lot of people ask me if that worked or not. And I've seen that very recently some people wanted to know if these experiments or hacks have worked or not. So I thought it'd be great to show all things that I have tried with my own knowledge, which I have taken, of course, from the internet and other videos. Has it worked or not, so that it can help others also, and it will help me keep track of the journey of my plants. So that's the agenda today. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things that worked for me, 3 which didn't. So 3 plants which didn't respond well at all to what I did with them. So we will see that, and I'll start with the things which worked. Let's get into it. So the very first thing I want to start with is related to alocasias, because I think they trouble us the most. They're the most dramatic, and they're the ones which need the most amount of care and upkeep and treatments of every sort. So I want to start with this alocasia, this and this. These are the first 2 in my list, these 2 things. Maybe I'll just move this a bit aside. Yeah, so these are my 2 alocasias, alocasia silver dragons. Yeah, they may not look all that well, but this is actually doing fine. Let me show you how. So of course you see these leaves which are a bit damaged with spider mites. Look at this spider mite damage, how bad this is. But nevertheless, look at this newest leaf which is about to come now next. You just focus. Yeah, so there you go, that's the newest leaf, and you can look at the size of that leaf. Let me show it from the back as well. So doing pretty well. Why I'm saying this is doing well is because I want to show you guys the roots. So this is currently in pon, and I have a video of both of these plants when I put them in pon, so you can actually go back and compare. So if you just have a look at the roots, it is doing brilliantly. And what I have realized in this journey with alocasias and all other plants actually is a healthy root system. So till you don't have a good healthy root system in place, the plants are not going to do fine. So of course all these other leaves which have spider mites damage, eventually they will all be out of the way, they will get chopped off, they will be out of the system. But if you start seeing, this is the first leaf which is coming, not the first, actually the second or third one which is coming after the root system got so nicely developed. So water is spilling and hence I'm having a tough time showing it. But if you can see even here, the roots inside here on the top, they're all coming out here as well. You can see a lot of the roots there. Let me show the other plant as well, because here you can easily see the growth. So I have one full leaf. This is the, one second, this is a bit tricky with the water. Okay, so this is my second alocasia silver dragon, and this was one of the newest leaves I got after I put it into pon. Of course this is damaged, and I'll tell you how that got damaged too. And if you see, there's a lot of new growth point here now. There's another big leaf coming here. There are 2 shoots in this one, and a lot of roots, lot of healthy roots inside on the top. And just look at this, look at the healthy roots. So look at this. So the point here is, over the last few months since I did that experiment of transferring my pon into transferring my alocasia into pon, and yes, this is the newest leaf as well. Sorry, I forgot to show that. It is still hardening up. So this is the newest leaf that I have right now. having a little tough time because this water is dripping and there are too many leaves, because there are two plants here, there are two shoots of alocasia here, and this got damaged because I sprayed it with a spidermite solution, which has been working actually pretty well. I modified the recipe a bit, and maybe I will write that down. And all the water is on me right now. I should have maybe kept this one for the last. But anyway, so yeah, it is doing well because the rooting system has improved so much, which is the key thing in any indoor plant, to have a good rooting system. And we have already started seeing new growth. Yeah, so I was making all the water dripped on me. So I was making a point that if you have a good rooting system, you're going to have a healthy plant, and don't go by the damaged leaves. But I have a lot of new growth. If you see now, this is going to be my main plant because I will eventually chop off the other leaves. This is the newest leaf which has just come in. It is hardening up, so it has improved drastically. So case in point is that transferring alocasia into pon has worked really well for me, and I hope I see good results. I have also transferred my alocasia black velvet into it, which is going to be a good experiment because it's just a stump right now. Another one while we're doing alocasias and pon is my Jacqueline. So this is my alocasia Jacqueline, and this also is in pon. It also has a really good rooting system. This is the reservoir here, and this has completely died so many times, like totally, like I had to chop it off. I had nothing but the base stalk, like I had to like literally just chop it off here. But it's been doing well. The leaves keep coming. It is still on its way to totally establish, and the size of the leaves got a bit affected because this was touching the window of my the glass pane of my greenhouse cabinet, hence the leaf got a bit wonky. But otherwise the pon got it back into action, so I'm really happy. I can very well say that it worked fine. So yeah, this one as well has done good. The other one for which I've got the most amount of questions is my Anthurium dressleri crossed with crystallinum. So I transferred this into Leca in one of my YouTube short videos and on my Instagram reels, and this has been doing wonderfully well. I actually will show this from the back camera also. So if you can see, this all new root growth, the fuzzy new growth is all after I put it into Leca. All the root that is growing here on top as well. How do I show it? It's very tricky, but yeah, here probably you can see the amount of new root growth, and even the earlier roots are all healthy. They have been fine. They are all growing up properly. So this has been a good experiment for me. I keep the water level to a minimum so that the Leca keeps taking it as it needs it. At times I mist it on top just so that the top Leca balls are also moist because they tend to dry up. But here you can see the roots. So this is doing well. I'm hoping for some new growth soon. So that's on this one. This Anthurium is doing pretty well. I'm really happy with this experiment. Of course, I will call it completely successful when I see a new leaf growth. That's when we know for sure. But this much is way good enough than where this plant was, because it didn't show any growth for me. I'm not saying that everyone should shift their plants into Leca or pon or whatever, but you have to check, you have to try, you have to test it. Of course, if you have tried regular methods of regular soil, aeroid mix soil and everything, and it doesn't work, then I would suggest you go for this. Or of course, if there is a sign the plant is giving, like in my case there was a sign and I observed it and then I took a chance to do this. So totally working fine. Next one is this Alocasia frydecom mycolitziana. So this is the newest leaf after I put it in pon. There's a video of this I did. This one was a single corm that was left from my mother plant, which I don't have anymore. So this is the reservoir system that I created. So there is this little outer container, and in that goes this other container, which has of course the holes in the bottom, and then the typical pon system here. And really good growth. Already got this new leaf right immediately after I shifted it into pon. Very happy. There were 5 leaves. One of course just recently wilted, so I chopped it off, but the size of the leaf has also increased. Earlier was this kind of a size, and now it's this one. So it's working very well. This is great. And the other one I did along was Alocasia Jacqueline. This also has got a new growth. This one is a new leaf that I got after I shifted it into pon, and here there is a new leaf which is coming, as you can see. So there is a new growth of a new leaf here. So there were 2 corms in this, 2 plants. They're doing totally fine. Same system here as well. This is the outer container with the water. The outer container with the water in it for the reservoir, and this is the pot with pon in it. At the bottom there are some leca balls so that the pon doesn't fall out, because the holes were a bit big on the sides. So this is also doing really well. Really happy with this. And the last one doing well are my other corms of Alocasia Jacqueline from that same day. So just an update. There were some corms which were smaller in size that day, so I put them back in sphagnum moss and perlite combination. They are doing really well, all new growth, and the leaf sizes are slightly increasing. So I will soon add these into pon as well, because pon and Alocasia are best friends. We know that now, and it's honestly so much more easier to manage pon and even leca for that matter. Maybe we'll see if I don't think this is ready for leca, because I think leca needs plants which have bigger, thicker roots, so this may not go in that. It will be best suited for pon. So that's about the things which have worked well for me. So pon has worked well, leca has worked well, for Alocasias, for anthuriums, happy to establish that. Getting on to something which didn't work at all for me. So for some reason, I have a tough time with perlite propagations, and I have tried a couple of them. One or two have literally worked for me, but the others have not. So this is my Anthurium vitrifolium. Now I have just one leaf left, which is propagating in perlite in this glass container, but I don't really see any growth. This got really bad actually. There is also this little black stem that you see, which I should totally remove, but it's my Philodendron verrucosum. There was a bit of its stem left, so I took it like a wet stick thing and I put it in this. It's gone, but I just keep it there hoping something may come out of it, because the stem had a bit of a green in it. So that's there, and this is here. There are roots in that vitrifolium, as you can see, but no growth. So for some reason, that's quite funny. It has really nice thick roots, but just no growth. So for me, this one is a failed experiment, but it could also be the reason why this happened is because maybe the plant quality wasn't that great, which I firmly believe. The plant wasn't really of a good quality, a good specimen, a good DNA, so can't really help it. So I'm not like giving myself a hard time on it, but so that's that. The other one which didn't work for me was my Philodendron melanochrysum. I have tried to put this on this moss pole, I've tried to put this plant on this moss pole. I've tried everything. I try my best to keep it moist. I did top it up in between, but the stem continues to grow and the leaves just won't unfurl. They keep coming out inside the petiole itself, or the caterpillar, I think caterpillar, but they won't come out at all. Like this leaf is already trying to push out another leaf while the other leaf has not opened. That was a story with all the leaves. They come out, they don't unfurl. There's 1, 2, 3 and a fourth, and it's not working out at all. So I'm going to chop this plant up completely. Let's see what happens. The only good or hopeful point for me is there's some new growth here at the bottom. So maybe if I chop it up completely, it may work. So like this is a very, very horrible situation. Like this leaf is there inside its own stem, but it won't, yeah, here you can see, but it won't open up, and there's already a new growth on top. So that's what happens in every node. I face that problem, and the moss pole didn't work for me as well, even though it's in the cabinet. I don't know why it doesn't work for me. Here is my last plant, which is a medium, which I put on this moss pole as well. I chopped off the top and one of the vines, and it's trying to have a new growth here, this point here, but it's taking too long. There are a lot of roots which have now come and gone in the moss pole, but in a very weird way. I really don't understand what the plant is trying to do. So it's connected inside for sure with the roots, as this is a root which is all inside and outside, but these leaves have started yellowing, though there are good roots here, if you can see. So it's rooting fine. So I'm just giving it a chance. I'm waiting. I'm being patient with this one. So I'm hoping that this thing works fine at some point, because it has really nice roots, but no new growth. Even like the stem I had chopped off, but there's no new growth there. So there is one stem, two stem, and this is a single vine which is just like climbing right on top. But if you can clearly see, the leaves are going all yellow. So I will not call this a successful repotting in that sense. It is, but it's taking time. So it's rooting at least, so I'm okay about that, because I tried my own potting mix in this one, which I'm happy is kind of working. But yeah, I think I'll water this and put this back in today. So yep, that's about it. So those were the few things which worked, which didn't work, more like an update on the things that I've been trying with the plants. And it's good to see the progress on what I have been doing, because it is very stressful to try something on your plants, because you can immediately see the negative results. Like if the plant is not going to do well, it shows that immediately, but if it is going to do well, it takes time. And it's such an exercise of patience. I feel it teaches you so much patience to see any changes in the plant, because it's nothing that, you know, you can like click it and it will just happen like it happens on the internet. It's not like that. You have to really give this a lot of time and patience. So that's a thing you can learn to enjoy as well. But yeah, that's it for today. I am so thankful that all of you are watching my videos and engaging and interacting and asking me questions. Please do ask questions on any of the things I talked about today or anything else, and I would love to connect back with you. And do like the video, do subscribe to the channel, and do watch the next one, and I'll see you again. Bye.